Hello and welcome to the first losers bracket game of the Scrunchable Cadaver Scrub League tournament. I'm one of your hosts, Ant-Man, and joining me in the commentary booth today we have Mr. Tilt.
Hello people! It's going to be a good fun game, I hope.
You're half cut already, aren't you?
I am. I'm well and truly on the beer. This is just after the England game finished, and
England! I didn't even watch it. Does that mean I'm old, or does that mean I'm a geek? Or I don't know. It's a bit like Peter Molyneux. I believed in the dream before, and I got burnt, and it's like, wow. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I don't blame you. It's the least hopeful England side we've ever had, I think. But on the other hand, it was a win, 3-2. So let's hope we're on to a winner of a game afterwards. I'm looking forward to this.
But that's it. We're in a different Euro tournament. In fact, have you actually got anyone from outside England?
No, this is an entirely English league.
Well, good. Good. No.
Well, we've got Northern Ireland in there, so you know.
Oh, there we go. Enough jingoism. Anyway, is he Northern Irish or is he Southern?
I don't know.
He's South,
I
Dublin.
He was Northern. Is he?
I don't know. Where is Dublin?
Well, Dublin would be the capital of Ireland, so.
I don't know.
Made a massive mistake there. Let's just carry on and ignore whatever happened.
I'm in Cornwall, anyways. But yes, we are talking about one Irishman, Mr. AlteredEgo, today, and he is playing off against ShatnerzBassoon in the first of our losers bracket games. Now, basically, both these players were knocked out in their first games in the winners bracket, and now they've been transported down into the losers bracket. But it is not over for them yet. They can now walk all over the broken glass and make it all the way to the final again. It just means they've got to work that much harder, but they can still get there. There is hope. So it's the worst case scenario for both of these players, but they still can make it. Let's see. We have the Zerg of AlteredEgo. A pretty balanced playstyle. He likes tier 1 units and getting them out fast. As we said before, quite technically advanced. He knows the plays in and out, but it's the execution that doesn't necessarily let him down, but it's his technical knowledge is above his sort of technical.
I think that's the same with most of us. To be fair, we all know what we should be doing, and we just don't end up doing it. I mean, you know, we could all play to much better standard if we had the actual mechanics involved to do it. But yeah, I think Ego has got the ability to be an incredibly good player. And I'm not saying he's a bad player. What I'm saying is that he could do so much better in his games.
That's it. It's that's it. It's just maybe the physical side, just the keyboard side, the stuff that can only come with years of training that's letting him down. But sort of like tactical awareness, at least, and forward thinking as well. Two very important parts of the game which he already has nailed down as well.
That's it. Yeah.
So I mean, he's got the wisdom of years on others, but it's just he might be a late bloomer, you never know. And also we have the Terran of ShatnerzBassoon, otherwise known as Danger Mouse, who will appear in the game, because I believe the story behind that was a friend changed his name when he wasn't looking, with the free name change you get, and he is now forever Danger Mouse. But yes, Mr. ShatnerzBassoon, he's been out of practice in StarCraft 2 for quite a few months. He's been doing things with his personal life. I believe he has his own spawn now. He's emitted his own spawn.
Yeah, he's been very hard to get hold of. But I'll tell you one thing from the off go. I mean, he is Terran, so I'm going to be rooting for him the entire way. Sorry, Ego.
That's all good.
Team Blue.
You've got to love the underdog, haven't you?
I wouldn't say he's the underdog. I'd say he's.
Out of practice.
I wouldn't say yeah, well, that's it. I mean, he's had so much going on in his life recently. It's hard to keep up on top of the StarCraft knowledge, and he is playing Terran, which is arguably the easiest race to play. So,
what are you talking about? Is Protoss, surely?
That's coming from a Terran. Although I was saying that we're both biased anyway. We're both Terran, so.
Dear, I don't know. Christ. So I think the only way to settle this one is to hit on the play button. So if you've got your replay all lined up,
I'm all ready.
Set to faster, yes.
Of course.
Okie dokes, and if we hit the play button in 3, 2, 1, click. So, okie dokie then, in the blue trunks in the southwestern corner we have Mr. ShatnerzBassoon, who sees fit to put all of his SCVs into his base and send him out after a cup of tea to the mineral line.
That's the most interesting start I've seen.
He did that in his last game as well.
I suppose it could be a trademark, but I wouldn't say it's the most economically viable start to the game.
They just got to go in. They all forgot a nice cup of tea. They go and have that, and they get out and get straight back to work. And up in the northeast corner, we have the yellow Zerg of AlteredEgo. Honk my tonk.
Honk my tonk indeed. Exclamation marks after that as well. I suppose he really wants it. Yeah, so Ego in the top right, yellow, and he's droning up. There's nothing too exciting. We're playing on Tal'Darim Altar, which is a very large map.
Also seems to favour Zerg, it seems, just because the very large sort of ramp into the sort of main base there. It can be hard to get like a decent wall off for Terran. It can be a bit trickier than like the standard map with the high ground and the standard like 6 or 8 wide base, I believe. So yeah,
it's quite a wide entrance. I would say for the start of the game, this is certainly more favourable towards the Zerg, just because he can get his natural very easily, and of course with your first starting few Zerglings, you can get the rocks down for the third. So yeah, much quicker start for them. I would say that Terran. He's actually looks like he's going for the wall off at the smaller choke. I personally go for the ramp, but that's because I'm very greedy and want as many minerals as I can get.
That's it, you want to get your expansion up first. But no, Danger Mouse, ShatnerzBassoon just playing it nice and steady, just walling off just in case of there's early pressure coming in. And it looks, well, I mean, there's quite an early scout from AlteredEgo actually coming round the map now. He's now currently in the southeast corner, and he's also got the Overlord coming out as well. So a fairly early scout really, and spawning pool coming down at about 13 as well, so I'm on gas, so quite a balanced play. I don't think we're going to see any sort of rush coming out of him anytime soon.
That's right, and I would say that he's getting his wall. Danger Mouse is getting his wall in as soon as he can. I don't think he trusts Ego at all, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Ego might be wanting to go for a quick attack here. I mean, he's just got his spawning pool up. But yeah, it's looking very interesting so far. Well, very interesting, as it can be.
That's it. So the first barracks finishes. No SCV production currently from ShatnerzBassoon. I'm expecting the orbital command anytime now. And there we go, lovely stuff.
Got that on the go, and Ego's just got his expansion up. Well, in fact, got his expansion up a little while ago. He's halfway through already. Very early expansion, and yeah. I
don't know. I mean, he hasn't seen. I mean, the initial scout is only just coming out for ShatnerzBassoon now. He's going fairly. Well, let's see. He's the gas still from AlteredEgo there comes down. But I mean, he's got the extractor in his main base, but he's just gone for 3 naked racks at the moment. But not. He's queuing up Marines off one of the racks just to get some forces out there. But he isn't particularly taking up.
No, not at all. I think he's looking to get a few more Marines out just to prevent any early attacks from Ego. He seems to be playing very cautiously, it has to be said.
But the drone survives though. It did do the gas still. It was halfway through production, but then Shatners did pull. That would go down. There we go.
Yeah. He ran
but he did cancel the assimilator, the extractor, on there because he pulled about 4 or 5 SCVs just to try and nobble it down quickly to deny any vision. But yes,
too much economy there, and I'll tell you what, I bet Ego was very happy after he saw that.
I think Ego is going for a bit of a push. As you can see, he's got 2 Zerglings without speed at the moment. That would be about another 30 seconds coming down through the map, but he has another 8 in production. He's going to go for an early poke here, I would suggest.
Yeah, well, I mean, one thing he doesn't know yet is whether or not he's got an expansion up. So he's getting the 2 Zelnagas near, so he's keeping himself very safe, looking out for anything that comes through the middle.
Possibly, yeah. He could possibly be fearing the sort of early 1 base push from Shatners there, which may be the case. I mean, he's got a good 8 Marines on the move now.
Yeah, I just saw his SCV try to attempt to get inside of Ego's base. He got fairly close in. He saw the hatchery and 1 gas, which isn't a huge amount of information, except the expansion is. So that's probably one of the reasons why he's attacking.
Here we go. The 2 Zarnagas now have seen these 8 Marines making their way across the map. I thought he was going to go for a run by them, but no, he's just keeping pace with them. He's about to lose vision of them, but now he's just going to try and get between themselves and those Marines just to stop any sort of like major mineral line destruction. But he's got enough to cover him there. I mean, he's got 16 Zerglings. The Overlord will go down. They're in position.
Oh, sacking, and
I think this is Terran win on that one.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think that was a focus fire. You gotta love the A click. That's what you gotta do. You need to A click as much as you can.
That was it. You got a good fast reaction. Hoping the Overlord killing the Overlord would distract him, but no. All those guns have warmed up and they absolutely smashed him. So here we go. Baneling tech is down. He is now morphing several Banelings, hoping to try and find that reinforce. Is he going to get there before they mutate?
Yeah,
it's going to be close. Oh no, he's holding off.
He's sending out his Zerglings to give him a bit more time. Oh,
That's nice. He split them.
That's true. That's true. And
that's not bad.
He's still taking 4 Banelings as well. So.
Yeah, that's not the worst that could happen. He did actually split a smaller group and then run them up the hill. It was quite good. And now, just to prevent further small forces coming up, he's actually put the Spine Crawler on the higher ground in his expansion, so that will poke all the way down onto the low ground there and give him a smash. It looks like we've got a counter-attack here from AlteredEgo. He's running in a good half dozen, 5 Zerglings in. They now have speed as well, so they're... that's it. Do you think he's going to try and bust that supply depot? He has vision of that depot.
He'll need a few more forces, but I think this could very well be a Baneling bust.
I don't know, a 5 would bust that supply depot, but then he's got nothing to run in after that.
That's it, he needs the backup. He needs the backup.
Knowing him, it will be there. I think he would come prepared if he is planning to punch that front wall down. But I think he's just got them there as an insurance policy at the moment. If he does move out again, they're fairly cost effective against like a fairly weak, unupgraded bio army. Just running the Banelings, they pretty much pay for themselves with the destruction they sort of wreak on the bio forces.
Oh, supply depot alone, if that went down, then that would instantly supply block.
Well, that's it. Here we go. So he's got a bit of a contingency plan. He's got another 6 Zerglings coming up there.
Shatner's got three Marauders, which is very good, except they need to be just behind that supply depot if he wants to absorb any damage. On the other hand, he doesn't actually notice it's coming at all. Let's have a look at his vision. If I have a look at his, he can actually see a Baneling morphing at the moment. You can see one Baneling just outside of his base. Whether or not he's actually noticed that, I don't know. But yeah, you can see there's one Baneling there, which could send alarm bells going off.
Quite possibly. So the tale at the moment is now the expansion has been up for AlteredEgo and established and fully saturated for a good 3 minutes now, and there's no sign of the expansion coming from Shatner's. You can see in the economy game already, the harvester count is 1931, so it's almost double the income for AlteredEgo at the moment. So the longer this goes on for, the further of the more of a deficit it's going to fall in, especially with AlteredEgo looking to take his 3rd now already.
On the other hand, Shatner's has got a very furious looking army there. I mean, there's a lot of Marines and a lot of Marauders, so...
That is true, but he has to capitalise.
For one big attack and see how that works. On the other hand, he doesn't know, well, he might know, but he doesn't seem to realise there's a load of Banelings sitting right outside his base, which could cause absolute havoc.
That's it. I mean, I don't... he's got to hurry it up, really, because, I mean, weapons level 1 is coming in. That'll be about another minute or so, but then there's no stim, there's no combat shield, there's no even concussive shell, which is nice and easy to quick. He's got the starport down, so he could go medivac, just throw out a couple of token medivacs and go for a doom drop, but
yeah, he could be
I don't know, it seems
he's got 2 medivacs queued up now. Unfortunately, he's a little bit supply blocked at the moment.
But it seems as if there isn't really an action plan here from ShatnerzBassoon. He's here we go, we've got an overseer coming in just to get some good vision.
You can see a lot of units. I'm sure that's sent alarm bells to Ego, but on the other hand, he's still in a very good position with those Banelings sitting straight out the right side of the front.
That's it. He knows what's going on, basically, just with the map vision at the moment for AlteredEgo. He's got covered on the Zalnaga. He's sat right outside his front door, so he knows with a high percentage chance that there isn't anything really in there. So now ShatnerzBassoon does throw down the 2nd command centre within his own base, then he's going to float it, I imagine, north to the base up there, possibly. I would if I was him.
It's moving out now.
He's got 1 medivac. It's going to be a busy old medivac in about 5 seconds.
That wasn't bad, actually. That went
that's a good... Yeah.
He's now pushing out to his expansion. He's going to try and secure that so he can get his orbital out there as soon as possible.
That was it. That was a good engagement. I mean, sort of willing or unwilling, he sort of positioned himself such that the Vespine Geyser actually guarded him, so there's only about 4 units sort of out in the open, as it were, to be hit by the Banelings. So yeah, all quite... I mean, he came out on top of that sort of economic exchange there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was probably a much bigger investment for Ego than it was for Shatners to move out there. So it's looking much better for him at the moment. He's currently holding the expansion. Although personally, I'd go down to the ramp. He needs to keep vision on that as much as possible, especially with the possibility of circling run-bys with the supply depot down.
I think, although production is good,
Muters have just popped out for Ego.
He's going to try and keep him in that base. He's just going to try and keep him penned in that base even more. He doesn't want him to come out. I would say the mindset from Ego here is that he already knows he's got the economic advantage. He already knows that Shat is still on one base, and he knows that he's on 3, and he knows that the longer that this goes on, just the more of the advantage that he's going to have.
Absolutely, and with those muters as well, it almost guarantees
he can't go anywhere. He's stuck.
Bit of map control, and now he's attacking the inner line. A horrible scenario.
Is that the reaction? Is he moving them? It's gone on far too long. They should already be halfway across the map by now. That's it.
Right.
No real reaction from the SCVs. This is now the move out and the move back in through the Marines, but still that was not the quickest reaction really, to be honest.
They're the most valuable mutalisks I've ever seen. The amount of damage they caused there.
And that's it. Now they just fly out scot-free. It's
that's
he's going to do exactly the same.
Mr. Danger Mouse there.
No, he's a bugger. He'll do exactly the same again. He'll bring those muters. He'll fly them out there for 10 seconds. Then he'll fly them back around to the first base again. Just as soon as mining gets started, he'll pull you in 3 different directions at once. But now comes a further attack. We have 3 pages worth of Zerglings running across the map right at him.
There's a lot there. They're all having a bit of fun around that Zelnaga. However, Danger Mouse has got a bunker up, which is invaluable with these sort of run-bys. Hasn't put anyone in it yet, but we'll see what happens next.
The muter's coming back in now. He still moves the Marines out. Oh no, he's got 2 turrets up. That's some good stuff.
Oh, those turrets cover everything.
I didn't even see them constructed. Good stuff.
Unfortunately, he hasn't got anyone on gas, and he did have someone on gas. That turret at the top would be a little bit of an annoyance. On the other hand, it saved him, and it still has taken down a Mutalist. There you go.
But now he's going to start. So he's going to start trying to chip away. But now, that's it. Their threat severely dwindled. Now, if he just runs those Marines back in, they're caught in. There we go. Just stim a few. Go on. That'll do him anyway. That's it. That's gone.
He's taken them down. Yes. And Ego is currently morphing a lot of Banelings. That's a heck of a lot of Banelings.
That's it, right down that Zelnaga. He's going to try and bust the entire army in one hit. He's going to try and run them in because he knows roughly where they are. But no, now Shat is going for a big doom drop. He's got 4 medivacs entirely loaded. So this could be quite good. I mean, if he runs all those Banelings in, they're just going to spend themselves against a very dwindled force. He may not even see. He has seen.
He has seen. If he's got a Zergling on that Zelnaga there, you can see the.
He's keeping an eye on the map. Let's see the reaction. There is one.
Immediately up to the top left of his base.
That's a good call. They're going to see these they're going to see the medevacs come in and start attacking them. Although, even if they do, well, there's 5 that can take down a medevac in about 6 seconds. But through luck or by skill, he's actually avoided the muters. But they're running in now on the base. Banelings come in.
That's the worst drop. That's actually been a lot worse.
That's quite good. Get it up.
He's been lucky to get those Marauders up ahead to absorb a lot of the damage.
They're trying to get through the maze. They're trying to get through the maze of that, and now they're going to spend themselves. Okay. And they're still going back in the main base. We've got the Doom Drop in progress, but now it's lacking any real biting power. It's just standard 0-1 Marines running in. They will do some damage, but I mean, compared to the sort of damage that's going to be wrecked in Shatnerz's, it's going to pale in comparison now.
Unfortunately, I think that command center might actually go down. And now he's
quite possibly.
He's got rally points for Marines, and unfortunately they're not fighting back. This is a pretty bad scenario for Shatners. He's managed to save a few of the units in AlteredEgo's base, but his own base is getting absolutely destroyed.
But that's it, the damage was done. I mean, damage was done a good 12 minutes ago, basically, even before the muters. Just the fact that he was penned into his own base, just the fact that he was kept in, he couldn't expand. That was the real damage that came through. If he was allowed to expand at his normal rate and sort of get more bases down, get more production down, and then ultimately, and there's the GG I see.
There's the GG, yeah.
And that's it. If he could have had more production to begin with, then get the attack that he would eventually send out would have a lot more potency than it eventually had, unfortunately. So yes.
That's right. Yeah.
Anyhow.
Unfortunately, that was a bit of a letdown of an end. I would say that's a Zergling rung by, and I tell you what, from a Terran perspective, that's the worst thing that could possibly ever happen.
Well, yeah, I think everything leading up to that point, though. I mean, by the time the attack started coming down, I mean, it was great. It was great to see a big drop to use the Medivacs in that way. It was good that it avoided the mutas coming in, and but unfortunately, with Ego being on 3 bases, even if he did take down the second base on his attack, even if he did sort of like wreck the entire economy line there, it still wouldn't have as much effect as Ego's attack on his base. Unfortunately, the damage was done well before that, just with the sort of economic deficit there. But yeah, so I think let's see, thinking ahead to the next game. So he's 1-0 down. Does he go crazy? Does he do an Ant-Man and just go apeshit and sort of go for the trusted Hellion/Ghost build, or does he play meat and potatoes but try and keep the pressure up? I would suggest smaller attacks just to try and keep AlteredEgo honest.
That's right. He needs to keep Ego constantly thinking about attacks and not so much macro, because I'd tell you what, his macro was absolutely solid that game. He got himself up to 3 bases very early on, and he knew he was in a huge lead when he saw that Shatners didn't have his expansion out.
But then I would suggest Ego has studied Shat's game there and noticed that he's the kind of guy that just likes to build up a pretty hefty force and go out and smash them, sort of very much like a PvE style, like a player versus environment, sort of a way you'd play a computer game just against the computer style, like a single player game where you just sort of sit in your base, hold off attacks, then move out with a massive force and kill them. Whereas I don't know, it's a bit old school possibly, but then the sort of very new wave, the very new school, people who've been continually playing StarCraft 2 knows that you've just got to keep out, it's just little drips and drops to make the big difference in the end. That's it, because
pressure needs to mount up,
especially against a Zerg opponent. If you leave them unhindered, if you just let them get their legs underneath them and get 3 bases underneath them, then for anything more than like, if you're more than like 1 base behind them for more than 5 minutes, it's pretty much GG then if they're serious about it.
That's right. The way Zerg plays, they can macro so much better than any other team he can play against. I'd say Terran's probably got a small advantage in the way that even if they've lost a lot of SCVs, they can throw down mules, but that's only for an emergency.
They can really be. I mean, just all the way through. I mean, their economy is stronger just through like the mule subsidising it. But yeah, as you say, it's you just can't let them get their legs underneath them in that way. You've got to push them in some way and just try and keep them honest, keep them penned in, and yeah, that's it.
Constantly worrying about anything that could come in from any direction, specifically drops, because I tell you what, drops, as I believe Ego said in the game that he was casting with me and who was Adve. I keep on talking about drops, I never actually do them, but they are incredibly dangerous, especially against Zerg.
That's it. It seems like all other races now, I mean Zerg and Protoss, have their own version of drops as well, but the Terran can be sort of done with like tech 1, sort of tech 1.5 units quite easily, and they can be done in a very sort of devastating and fast way. It is one of the sort of like natural passive abilities of Terran, which I myself am guilty for not utilising either. It doesn't seem to occur to me. I just like to run shit across the map and sort of go knocking on the front door.
That's right, yeah.
I'm not really, I'm not one for the subterfuge really, but it really is. If I would say if you don't really utilise sort of like 3 of your chosen races sort of like abilities, then it may be time to think about another race. I'm not saying this for any of the players playing today, but I just think that's it. So possibly, I mean, even possibly say Zagzag, who I am to play next, I believe.
Oh yes.
But just like with the Overlord movement, or even with Adve, say for example, with the hesitance of the sort of fear of loss, I think, where he doesn't want to sort of go out and expand very quickly and sort of spread himself very thin. He fears losing anything like that, and that sort of ultimately hinders him. And it's
That's one of the things. If you can just deny someone space once, that can have a lot more effect than
It's the
you've just
metagame.
denied them. Yeah, it's the metagame. It sends people thinking, oh, I'm gonna have to send a big force over here, and then of course you can move your army out of position.
It is. It's this game is more than just a point and click. It's about trying to conquer your own sort of psychology, your own instincts, and sort of think, well, if that base is running for 4 minutes, then gets wiped out, it's already paid for itself and more. Already,
Indeed.
it's already done its job, and it's although it's lost and it looks bad, but I've actually it's a net gain for it. It's a really hard mindset to conquer, and if you do figure it out, yeah, you can tell me for a start. So anyway,
First person I tell.
you wouldn't. No. So anyway, game 2. That's it. Shatner's map choice. It is. I do not know by the looks of it.
It's one of the ones from the most recent map pool. I'll say most recent. I think we just moved over to season 9 now, but this was a season 8 map, I believe.
So nice big map. 2 Xarnagas covering the sort of like the lower ground, the big mosh pit battlefield right in the middle there.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, it's very good for Terran defense in the way that he's
A few
got
siege tanks on the upper ground sort of thing.
on the high ground there. Yeah, maybe a couple of bunkers on the opposite side to keep that covered. Then yeah, that's very good for a Terran expansion. And of course, you've got another expansion further down, although that has got higher ground above it, which could lead to problems later on.
So that's it. So yeah, a long rush distance, big wide open map. Not too many hiding places really for Zergling. Lots of room. But basically, I think we need to see, yeah, lots of pressure coming out from just like little drip-fed pressure from ShatnerzBassoon. He just needs to fight every fibre of his being and just get 8 Marines, A-click him on his base, forget about him, keep doing the macro in your own base, just eventually, basically,
just to keep
sending
him
out.
constantly thinking about the attacks coming at the front, because I tell you what, as a Terran, you can actually Zerg sometimes better than Zerg if you constantly send Marines, because they're so versatile in almost any situation.
That's it. Their takedown, yeah. If you've got like a critical mass like more than 8, then their takedown ground, their takedown air, that's it. They're fast enough that they're sort of useful in like a skirmish assault, and yeah, you can just A-click them, let them do their thing. They're pretty much pay for themselves because they're cheap as chips as well, and that's it. It will keep Zerg honest. So, I think we're about ready to jump into game 2.
Okay, I'm all loaded up and ready to go.
Oh God, no, sorry, too many
there.
innuendos. Stop it. Okay, doke. So if you hit play in 3, 2, 1, click.
And they're off.
So here we go. Similar situation to last time. In the blue trunks in the southwest corner, we have ShatnerzBassoon, and in the northeast, we've got the yellow Zerg of Ego.
Cross positions again. Only 2 Xelnaga watchtowers on this, although I think it is slightly smaller than Tal'Darim Alta. In fact, well, I'm almost certain it is.
Giant bases though inside. Although it's quite a nice expansion to protect as well. It's sort of somewhat sheltered like a harbour.
That's right. Yeah, you can. Other than air, you can defend from almost anything, assuming you got the right equipment out front. So we see AlteredEgo immediately sending his overlord out for probably a look around about. I'd probably say Danger Mouse's expansion, just to see if he's going to try and get an early expansion on the go.
Is this a 2-player map or a 4-player? It's a 2-player map, this, isn't it?
It is. It's a
By the looks
one-on-one.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, where would be the fourth base is actually probably the 4th base of the. I say 4th base. Where the 3rd and 4th player would play would be. Yeah, they look very good for a 4th base, is what I was going for.
That's it. I mean, it's yeah, I have seen this in the latest GSL. I think yeah, there's been quite a few handy sort of siege tank pushes sort of in the bottom, like in the 3rd base there, that you go to sort of across the bottom or across the top, sort of respectively. But I've seen
Right,
yeah, a lot of siege tank pushes and just sort of like try and denying them. So yes, the drone of AlteredEgo is going to get in, and it's going to do several laps of the base. You've got to love that clicking around there.
Oh, so very nice constellation he's got on the go there, and it looks like it finishes off with the expansion by the looks of it.
I think yeah. Let's see, from the dots there, that looks like the constellation of the prolapsed anus.
It's very circular, has to be said. It has. Danger Mouse has got a drone on him again, or a SCV on him, just to keep him moving.
But unknown by ShatnerzBassoon, AlteredEgo isn't actually clicking that. He's already clicked them previously, and yes,
it's been pre-booked, and now he's back on the macro, and yeah, he's already got himself down a gas to be expected in a spawning pool. It's just about to finish,
That's it. The Wall-off complete now with the Shat. That's it. He's built the refinery, but it's only got one in gas. I think the timing works out okay. That by the time that finishes, you get an alright. You can throw a tech lab down on your first racks.
That's right. Yeah.
Like that. But still, I don't know. It's 75 minerals that could be used elsewhere. Because I mean, at the moment, the minerals are starting to pile up already. It's sat on like nearly 300 now. So you'd expect them to do one of two things: either A, throw 3 SCVs into the gas and go into a factory and then into air, or B, just with all those minerals,
get an expansion down,
either get an expansion or a couple more barracks down, which was what he did in the first game. But he's now got over 400. I imagine he's waiting to destroy this extractor here. Then I reckon he's going to throw a base down. He could do it a wee bit faster if he could get that second marine. I think he wants to keep this hidden, although it's going to be clocked the minute he goes for it by the Overlord Saturn's expansion. We've got 2 quick Zerglings though coming down, and a Roach Warren coming down in AlteredEgo's base, hidden in the back there. But I don't think the initial scout from Shatners has come out at all. I don't think it did in the last game. I think he scouted with his entire force last game. But that's it, the wall's up. He's got a marine sat there. Fair enough, that'll hold off a good half dozen Zerglings though, if they're going. But now, that's it.
He's put down a Zergling in the expansion to make sure nothing happens, and Shatners has now got the three SCVs on the gas, and he's
got the 4 on there.
A factory and another barracks.
Okay, so now he's floating 600 minerals and not a huge amount of gas. What does he do now? I still think throw another expansion down quick, just build it in his own base, get the orbital command, then float it down when you move out with like a dozen marines sort of thing when you naturally move out into your expo.
Absolutely.
Second factory going down. At the moment he's going to be severely gas starved, even with the second refinery has finished, but still though, just with trying to run 2 factories off 2 gas is a big ask.
That's true. I mean, I certainly learned that the other game that I played with Adve. If you've got 2 plus factories, they cost a lot of gas to keep running it. And
if you want to keep yourself in tanks, Jesus, yeah, you need 2 base with 2 gas on each, really.
Absolutely, and he's now getting down the engineering bay. Still no expansion. I think he needs to push out and take down that Zergling.
That's it. He's spending his money. That's it. He's certainly throwing down that money, but on more production facilities, unfortunately. And you can see his sort of production queue is nice and full there, and he still is throwing those SCVs out, which is good, and Stimpack starts. But still, although he's got the money, he'd have the money now. He's going to find himself really skinned very shortly unless he gets a second base. Just because you cannot run that amount of production facilities off one base. It just is not going to happen.
I think he's seen what we saw in the pre-game talk. I think he's thinking siege tanks on the higher ground because it really does cover that entrance very easily. On the other hand, he still needs to get down his second command centre and move it out there. He's actually got an overlord or an overseer. Sorry,
an overseer didn't make it. Yeah.
Oh, it's been destroyed, unfortunately.
So that's it. Now Shatners is thinking, oh fuck, look at my money, I've got shitloads of money, what do I do with it? He's now queued up several marines on each barracks, and which will work well for a short time, but that's it ultimately.
Command center. That's the important thing.
Great stuff. He's got to get that, yeah, that's it, that's priority 1 for me. Yeah.
He's now getting a couple of one SCV on the on his supply depots because I think he's slightly supply blocked at the moment. We've got another overlord moving down to what would be the 3rd base, and
but no, this is still better. It's still much better from Shatners, even just with production. He is spending his money. I mean, if you keep an eye on his money, he's keeping it nice and low. It looks like we've got another base will be going down, I imagine, soon from AlteredEgo. He's letting that money build up.
Yeah, and
he's going to throw another base up because he knows just they're still, the thing Shatners isn't really doing at the moment is sort of poking. So at the moment, if we look at the units, he's got 13 marines and a tank, which would still, put up. He's only got to take down 7 roaches and a couple of queens, which can be easily done with that amount of forces. So if he moved out now, he would stand a really good chance, especially by the time he got there. The stim is just about to finish now, also. But yeah, if ifs and buts and all that, but priority 1.
He's got his siege tank timing down quite well as well, so he can well and truly hold that front. And I believe he's got some marauders on the go now as well. So it's all looking good. I think he needs to transfer a few drones over to the expansion though.
That's it. He needs to get that. Yeah, that's it. He needs to get that lifted down. I mean, yeah, he's sort of like got 4 harvesters on each gas as well, which is not the most efficient, but I mean that's fine. It's not going to do a lot, but he's still swimming in money. But he needs more gas. First thing he needs to do is get that second command center into a orbital command, and
Yes, yeah.
that's it. I sense a bit of hesitance here. I mean, from AlteredEgo though, he hasn't got his third up yet. I'm really surprised about this.
Yeah, he's actually. I think he's working more on getting units. Actually, he seems to be getting some roaches and pushing down.
He's got Glow Constitution as well, which increases the sort of moving speed of roaches also. And he also has Burrow as well.
I'll tell you one thing though. AlteredEgo's vision on the map is absolutely fantastic.
That's it, in a big band all the way across there.
All over the place. He's got total domination of both Selnaga watchtowers, and he's also got a Overlord sitting there looking at the third base, which is extremely efficient.
That's it. There's only a very narrow window where he doesn't have vision all the way through the centre of the map. Otherwise, which ShatnerzBassoon would most likely not even travel anyway. So if he moves out, then yeah, it's going to be seen.
That's right.
But yeah, he's got an evil army ready to go. He's going for more subterfuge. He's moving out those burrowed roaches. He sees fit to work them underground all the way there, which is fine. But possibly it's the meta game again. So quite possibly AlteredEgo has seen the map and seen that it favours siege tech possibly, and thinking, right, I need to get burrow. I need to get something so I can get underneath those tanks and pop up to make the tanks destroy themselves. And also as the sort of subterfuge measure as well. I mean, there's some vision in the main base. Shatners is now sort of fearing mutalisks quite possibly, so he's thrown up missile turrets in the main base. Hasn't got a lot any vision sort of on his main army, but I mean he's got 2 orbital commands, so he's going to have scan energy. But he really is concentrating this time on the SCV production. You can see he's got 5 SCVs queued up in his second base. He could be utilising that first base though, sort of put them in both in the same control group and rally them down to the second mineral line to still build like 2 SCVs at a time.
That's right. I would at this point quickly ask for a time check. Whereabouts are you up to?
1334.
1334. Okay, that's exactly where I am now then. Good. So we've got some roaches now moving straight.
They're now burrowed. They can't be seen.
No scout can.
But the missile turret's about to pop up now. Let me see. Oh, lovely. Look at that.
Oh, annihilation.
Oh, that was the best timing ever.
The only damage done to Danger Mouse there was his own siege tanks, unfortunately.
No, but that was the best. Just look at that giant blood stain.
It could have gone a lot worse, yeah, it could have gone a lot worse.
That was the best timing ever, because I mean, otherwise they'd have been right up, they'd have got all the way sort of like underneath the barracks, pretty much, before they would have been seen.
Got well into the main and destroyed all of the add-ons, which is a huge blow to any economy.
Oh, he's the jammiest bastard alive. So now he's sieged up, he's slowly eking his way across the map. These Zergling will not be seen until they get... Is he going to siege those tanks up? He wants to. Okay, the Zerglings are going to take advantage and eat those tanks.
Yeah,
they siege up now, but it's far too late. They will have no effect whatsoever.
No,
he needs to pull the SCVs, he needs to shut the supply depot, close his doors.
Bring his army back, unfortunately. There's a bit of a lack of reaction here.
They are coming back, but it's, yeah. He needs to shut that door.
He needs to close that door very soon.
Shut that door.
Yeah.
Shut the door, he's going to go running. Okay, it's cool.
He's wiped it up now, and I think he needs some medevacs out actually for those Marines, because they're looking very very hurt at the moment, very orange and red.
That's it, very stimmed.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Nothing, that's one thing I always try to stick to, is if you're going to use stim, you want to have the medevacs to back them up.
That's it, unless you're, yeah, that's it, unless you're Marine King. I mean, he's the king of stim.
Yeah.
And have you seen him, like, at the end of an engagement, all his Marines have got about 4 life left each, and they're still going.
They're still going, they're causing as much damage. He gets the most out of them, I tell you. He's,
he wrings them dry.
Incredibly. I tell you what, I should probably actually take a lot more notes from him, because he's my hero, considering the sheer quantity of Marines that I create.
There
we go. He's now pushing
There we
forward
go,
again.
massive. That's it. He's scouting with the Zergling. Now he's going to get an evil first volley on these tanks. That's it. He's now burrowed. Is he going to throw a scan? Or is he going to wait it out? He's going to wait for them to get closer.
And Ego's moving back. And there he goes. He's raised up just a little bit further away.
But that's quite nice though. He's got the Marines right sort of like in the ball in the middle of the sort of sieged up tanks, which is good in a way.
That's the best position to be in, to be honest, because you've got siege tanks doing the range, then anything that gets close, the Marines can shoot apart. So
there we go. We have got medivacs out now. So AlteredEgo has started to go. He's now pumping 8 Mutalisks out. He's I think he's done that. Yeah, nearest damn at every game at the moment. He yeah, he likes to go for his mutas, although I doubt he would like to admit that. But I'm sure they've seen the tactically best thing at the time against a sieging Terran.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's one of the things you need to exploit with a mech army Terran. You need to exploit their inability to run around.
Their lack of maneuverability.
That's right, and he's only got actually, he's got two. He's got 2 missile turrets down, and unfortunately the production facilities aren't all that well covered. And now he's moving in with the computers.
That's it, straight into the base, room 1, and it's we'll wait for the reaction. We'll see Marines run, or is he going to click to drag his whole army up? That's good though. He's still got the siege tanks, because now we're going to see the roaches move in, but he's left those tanks sieged, which is good.
That's right.
So now they're going to get a huge evil volley from the tanks, and that will clear up the melee forces. But good, but back in the base, he has chased the mutants away. Fantastic outcome for Shatners there, but now he tries to finish off the tanks. There are a few Marines there just to deal with them, but now they're...
He needs to get those Marines down very quickly. He's losing a lot of tanks here, and that's one thing you don't want to do as Terran.
No, that's the amount of time. But that's good, those Zerglings coming in, he unsieged them, tried to move them back. Did he shoot his own tank then?
I think he may have done. A lot of A-clicking going on, but he's now moved back with the 2 remaining mutas and met up with another 4.
That's good. That's good though. I mean, he chased off the mutas in the main base and he annihilated those bloody roaches.
Absolutely.
But I mean, it's a similar story.
Really think about doing. Sorry, I won't interrupt you again, but
no, that's good.
One thing he seriously needs to think about doing is getting another expansion down, because he's got to be thinking that Ego's got another expansion. Here comes some more mutas straight into the base while he's building.
Twice shy. That's it. He has sufficient numbers though. He's now going for that's it. It's full on. Yeah, SimCity in his base now. It's also tightly packed. That's that was one of the disadvantages of trying to run back in with the Marines to try and cover the muta harass, because it's so bloody SimCity. They have to run twice the distance to get in.
Well, that's right. They have to run around every building that's there, and he's still moving his. Ego's still moving his mutas around. There's a heck of a lot of Zerglings built up at that Zelnaga watchtower. A couple of roaches down on the lower ground, but yeah, I'm going to suspect some more banelings here actually, because look at the amount of Zerglings he's got. I think he wants to break that front wall.
But he knows the Shatter's got the siege tanks. If he can get more tanks out quick and siege them, like 8% of the banelings will be spent. They'll be dead by the time they get past the first or second volley of the siege tank.
Absolutely, but I mean, if he sends maybe some Zerglings in to tank a bit of damage first, and the most important thing I'd say would be to move some Mutalisks into the base to get the Marines to move again.
That's every straight up encounter. Well, every encounter AlteredEgo has gone into. It's been a 2-pronged attack. Basically, he's never just like poked. He hasn't just knocked on the front door or gone into the back. He's very mindful for trying to sort of pull every player in 2 directions at the same time, like the misdirect. So I mean, even with the last attack, I mean, Shatner's possibly more by luck than by skill managed to deflect it, because he sort of like clicked all his army, dragged it and tried to move it into the base. However, because the tanks were sieged, they remained there.
That's right. Yeah,
to absolutely nobble the roaches, and then he moved down with the rest of the tanks.
And speaking of the devil, there's a bunch of mutas now sitting just above his base. Ego's just about to finish his 4th base, or he's getting towards the end of it, and he's got a huge mineral advantage, I think, and he's also dumping creep on Shatner's 3rd base. Shatner really needs to start thinking about getting his next expansion.
I don't know the incomes. I mean, the subsidy of mules is really really something amazing. I mean, Shatner's has 820 minerals coming in, and AlteredEgo's only got just over 1,000. So it's not a huge difference. But yeah, what is the huge difference is the supply is starting to creep up, just because he can produce on 4 bases now. And you can see Shatner's is floating a colossal amount of money. He's got 2 grand in the bank and no gas.
Yeah.
What we need to see is, like, I don't know, 6 more barracks reacted. all the way around the back.
Barracks, yeah. As soon as I see I've got over 1,000 gas, it's time to throw down the barracks or whatever your chosen production facility is, because you see he has actually got a half-built barracks there, which is pretty frustrating. I think he's trying to build that quite a while.
He's got he's got Thor out now. That's good. I mean that's going to eat away all his bloody gas. He's now taken his first base and he's moved it out. The minerals are nearly spent. He's going to move it out and inadvertently find these mutas, which are going to eat his base.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's now going straight into the flight path of those mutas. Has he noticed? Oh, there's one mutalist moved over to have a quick look at it.
So now Shatner knows, but AlteredEgo doesn't necessarily, because it doesn't throw up a notification when your units start attacking and nothing attacks back.
That's right. Otherwise, he would have moved all the other mutas onto it. He's moved straight back. So. I think that orbital command is going to be very safe, particularly now that it's going over the missile turret.
Oh, there we go, missile turrets.
It's actually pulling those.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's pulled them right in. And there we go. It's doing great amounts of damage.
I think he took down 3 mutas there, and another one's almost dead as well. It's very good engagement. Oh, here comes the banelings at the front though.
Yep, they're moving in now. Is he sieged? He sieged.
He sieged, and those...
Oh, beautiful.
Fantastic outcome for Shatners there. All the banelings beforehand, and now the Zerglings are just getting finished off by the Marines. That couldn't have gone better.
Look at that. I mean, yeah, just and that's it. Now the medivacs tidy everyone up, and it's looking great. I mean, in particular, the sort of formation we commented on earlier with the tanks on the outside and the soft, gooey middle of the Marines meant that, yeah, they just couldn't really get to surround the Zerglings, couldn't surround the tanks because the Marines were there sort of constantly doing high DPS, short range. But now the mutas move into the production facilities, though, unfortunately, in the north of the base, there's no reaction as yet. He needs to move one of those Thors up there, and that would do the trick.
I thought would be the best mobile turret he could get. He's actually still got an overseer at the back. But yes, the Thor is just popped out.
And it's running down to the main line. That's not where he needs him.
No, so he really needs to get an expansion now.
He's a bit lost.
I'm getting very worried about expansions coming.
He's a bit lost. He's flown that the orbital command back into the main base, but now since he's built a missile turret there and other bits and bobs, he's now sort of like a semi-long distance mining with a couple of SCVs. But I mean, you can see that's it. He's thrown down mules in his expansion, but 4 minutes he's going to be entirely out of money.
That's right, and yeah, you can see that AlteredEgo is now already mining from his 4th base and getting the lava ejects down there. He's got so much production ready at his fingertips.
And that's it. But I mean, yeah, although Shatner's is short on gas, he's still only got... I know he's now spot the mistake and sent more harvesters into the refineries and the natural. But he needs to move out here, basically. He's going to starve.
Soon. Yeah, I think
in the next 10 minutes he'll be here just entirely starved to death, and AlteredEgo knows this at the moment because you can see he's got something on every other base.
Yeah, he's currently sitting out the front and making sure that he doesn't expand, and I think he's just trying to starve him out. It's a full siege.
It's going to work.
It's going to work at this rate. It certainly needs to do some moves.
So he's got Corruptors though. He's got Corruptors sat out front. Is he? Do you reckon we could see Broodlords out of him, or do you think they're just sort of like? I know he is researching the Great Spire. We might see Broodlords. That's it. He's got the economy though.
Banelings into the front again, and those Banelings are a lot of Marines, but the Thor's just
That's it. At that time, well, at all times going forward, unless Shatners gets like another 3 bases immediately, it's very cost efficient because at the moment Ego's now starting his 5th.
It's not so much cost efficient as he's got the minerals to cover any cost that he incurs, because yeah, he's just put down his 5th base and he's well and truly throwing a lot of Zerglings out and making a lot of Banelings because he can. He's got the minerals to do it.
Right, here we go. I think Shatner sees the writing on the wall and he's moving out now. Unfortunately, he's going to get ravaged from behind as well. If the army makes it that far, now the muta's coming. Okay, that's a unexpected tactic. There we go. So
that didn't go too well for Shatners though. I mean, he needs to now get a lot more production.
Also, that's a very little upgrades as well, and now it's going to be the run by as always.
I know he's running straight into a group of Marines there.
That's it. But then expect in the next minute or so a load of mutas to come in round the back of his base and come in there. It's going to be he's a bugger for that. He's just going to be nobbled from all different angles.
And if you look at the map, you can see constant streams of Zerglings.
That's it. He's just got.
It's insane for AlteredEgo. It really has macroed his heart out in this game.
And here we go. I mean, although Shatners has pulled his money back down, if you see every single production facility, it is queued up to the very top, and it is. I really don't need to have a go at all, but I mean, if you've got more than 3 units queued on any production facility. Time to buy a new one. Time to build a new one.
Absolutely. You've got money to afford an expansion or some more production. And yeah, his army's just being whittled away, and there's nothing for the SCVs to do anymore other than attack.
That's it. They have no more minerals to mine. There are no more bases. And unfortunately, this was a battle of attrition. That although certainly a lot better from Shatners, a lot more, somewhat more proactive. Still, that's it. He held off a number of key attacks coming in from AlteredEgo. He sort of like held off several muter waves coming in. He also held off several Baneling and Roach waves coming in as well. He certainly stood his ground and should be proud for that. However, that's it. It was a few more. There's a few more things that you've got to sort of try and teach yourself to do, like the building of more bases, the getting out there, the just trying to get map vision, and that's it, just trying to poke the Zerg, just trying not to let your opponent go on unimpeded, basically.
Yeah, and especially when because a later game, every time you move out, something goes wrong, and you think you start to get suffocated because you just have nowhere to expand to. You haven't got the production to keep up with it, and you need to pull something out of the bag. Unfortunately, he got stuck behind. But I will say, he did have a very strong army, and the siege tanks were very well positioned as well. And
well, that was good. I mean,
to keep
yeah,
it held off.
That's it. I mean, the game went on for over 30 minutes, and it was a lot more convincing sort of throughout. Basically, the game was certainly more convincing throughout. That it seemed more even up until sort of the sort of mineral deficit really got to him, and the lack of income just ate him away, and the lack of production facilities as well. But first 15 minutes, great stuff, a great base to build on. It's the sort of thing that comes with just playing it again and again and again, and sort of playing more often means you get to that position, you get into the sort of the mid and the late game more often, that you sort of know what to do and you aren't lost. And it will come with time. So I mean, it is certainly good news for the future for ShatnerzBassoon. He's been out of practice for a long time, but no, I mean, there's still the glimmer there.
Oh, absolutely. He's got potential. He just needs a bit more time, and I don't blame him at the moment with the Rugrats running around. He's going to be very busy, isn't he? So
it'd be
I thought he played very, very, very well for the amount of time that he's had to put into this game recently. He put a very good fight, and but congratulations to AlteredEgo. He really did macro his heart out there. That's a very impressive macro play there.
That's it. He got out there. Yeah, he certainly did. That's it. If we refer to the tournament table quickly, yeah, we can see that now that is the first of the losers bracket games. Although the second, technically result from the losers bracket we have, because unfortunately with Morn dropping out, I get like a bye through to the second stage.
You don't even have to do the equivalent to what Ego just had to do there. So yeah, you're moving straight onto Zagzag.
But then I played an extra one in the winners bracket. I sort of started around back. Anyhow, it's 6 of 1. But yeah, so next I will go on to fight Zagzag, and AlteredEgo will go on to fight Divern. So it's
that's right, yeah.
It's yeah, two different stories going on. I mean, we've got AlteredEgo trying to come through. He's going to try and nobble all of our acquaintances, and then there's myself on the other side of the losers bracket trying to nobble all of Team Sayum, like Zagzag and Adve.
Absolutely.
And then we'll meet in some hot gay orgy right in the middle there. And then get nobbled by you and get knocked out, and then it can be the semi-final will be the same as the final.
I don't know. I mean, you saw how close it was with me and Adve, and I certainly don't discount you two, because you've both been playing a lot since the start of the tournament, and I feel like after my last game with Adve, I feel like I could get thrown off. This is assuming that I lose to Kane Law. I might very well win. There's a possibility of that, but
I better be coming back at you though in the finals if he does. I don't know.
Absolutely, yeah. I've got a funny feeling it might actually end up being the same thing twice, but it's going to be interesting. Certainly,
we'll do something interesting with it. If it is the same game again, we'll do something. Yeah, there's going to be like an 8-drink minimum or something like that. We'll do something interesting with it. Don't worry.
Oh yes, I believe that for Group I we're actually on best of 5 anyway now, and again for the loser of Group I semi-final, you've got 5 games, best of 5 out of that one as well. So and then I think at the final we're doing best of 7. So
it's gonna be a good evening in. We will try and stream that live as well, and we'll try and get the rest of the people, the unlucky people from the rest of the tournament to come in, get in the chat room, get streaming, and we'll throw it up on Twitter from the @ScrunchyCadaver Twitter handle, and also we'll broadcast it well before on the website as well, where to get in on the action. And yeah, we'll get the party poppers out, we'll make it a bit of an event, and yeah, we'll watch some games together.
Should be very good. That's been, yeah, very, very good game. Very interesting turnout.
So that's it. So coming up next, I believe, just with the schedules, we may be seeing AlteredEgo again versus Divern, I believe.
That's
so,
right.
I may have to
mention to Divern that he needs to get his act together and put a good Protoss fight against AlteredEgo, because that's certainly not going to be an easy game for him.
CVP, yes. We've seen a couple of those matches before, but it'd be good, yeah. Let's see, it was Divern versus Adve, was it not? And
yeah, Adve managed to beat him 2-1. It was actually a very close game in the end.
I was very surprised at the end. I thought Divern would have had him, but it's a bit of a surprise for me, a bit of an upset, quite possibly. But yeah, he can still come back, and he may even play him again. Divern may have to play Adve again in the losers bracket.
Absolutely, although that might be looking a little bit too far ahead. You have got Fear, and he is a colossally good toss.
Well, yeah, you know him in personal life, so I'll take your word for that one. So anyway, I think that will do us for today, Mr. Tilt. I do thank you for joining me in the commentary booth once again. You may have noticed I've lit a scented candle.
Have you really?
It's Winterberry. I thought you might like that.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm very happy about that.
Thank you for commentating with me also, and yes, I think that would do us for today. So I think yeah, for any more information, go to scrunchablecadaver.com, or also check out on Twitter @ScrunchyCadaver, and yeah, more info and good things to be found there. So I think that would do us, Mr. Tilt. If you would like to say goodbye.
I'd like to say goodbye to all of you, and look forward to the future games, because I'm not going to let up in the fight.
Fighting words, that's what that is. Okie dokie, and it will be a goodbye from me. Goodbye.